Our webinar today is entitled SAP PLM 701 Engineering Change Management. This webinar will discuss the new engineering change record released in SAP PLM 701. The engineering change record extends the existing engineering change management capabilities with a more flexible way of handling engineering change, request, and order processing. My name is Alan Mendel, Vice President of LeverX. I will be our webinar moderator today. Before I turn the time over to our presenters, let me introduce you to LeverX. LeverX is an SAP Services Partner, an SAP Business Object Solution Partner, an associate member of the PLM Alliance, and a Google Enterprise Partner. LeverX delivers strategic, functional, and technical services in the areas of SAP Product Lifecycle Management, Portfolio and Project Management, and related solutions. LeverX offers services for business, process, and strategic consulting, solution architecture services, implementation planning and execution, custom development services, application support services, and near and offshore services. In addition, LeverX provides services for SAP NetWeaver, Workflow, Development, Business Intelligence, and Business Objects, as well as SAP Mobile Application Development and Google Apps integrated with SAP. This webinar is being recorded, and SAP customers attending will receive a follow-up email early next week with a link to download presentation materials and a recording of this webinar. We are pleased to introduce our presenters for today's webinar. First speaker will be Eric Stade, Director of PLM Consulting from LeverX. And our second speaker, who will present a demonstration, is Shobit Singhal, SAP PLM Consultant from LeverX. Our webinar agenda will proceed as outlined. We'll first hear from Eric, who will discuss engineering change management in SAP PLM 701 release, and then he will be followed by a live demonstration of the engineering change functionality in PLM 701 by Shobit. Eric, we'll turn the time over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Alan. Again, my name is Eric Stade. I'm the PLM practice lead at LeverX. Let me get set up here on my presentation. As Alan spoke, let's go a little bit through the agenda here. So we're going to talk a little bit about engineering change in SAP. We'll then talk about the new engineering record in PLM 701, kind of giving an introduction to that. Along with that, we want to talk about the integration with other change objects. So if you're doing engineering change management in SAP, you're probably wondering, well, how does this engineering record relate to the change master or the ECR ECO? So we'll talk about that a bit. Once we get kind of through the basics of what the engineering record is, I hand it over to my colleague Shobit, and he's going to walk us through a brief system demonstration of the key functionalities so you can actually see how the engineering record works in SAP and some of the highlights. Shobit will also talk about some of the configuration so you can get an idea of the flexibility that's offered in building it up for your own scenario. So he'll go into showing you how it can be configured and how you can get a feel for how it can be tailored for your environment, and then we'll go into questions. I won't spend a lot of time on presentation this morning. We'll actually get into looking at the system, so I only have about 5 or 6 slides here to go through with you. Okay. One thing to kind of make clear is SAP can support engineering change management processes from very simplistic processes where you have an engineering change, you just want to capture the changes that are happening to your product, and you want to route them through a couple approvals, to very highly complex processes. Maybe you're a medical device manufacturer or somewhere who has a lot of regulatory requirements and needs to go through a lot of steps as you change your product. SAP can handle anything from the simple to the complex, and also supports a variety of industries from normal discrete manufacturing to medical devices, pharma, aerospace, etc. So And you'll find out there a wide variety of reference customers who are actually using the change management functionality to control their changes to the product. When we talk about engineering change management in SAP, we're talking about controlling the changes to the key product data that's being managed in SAP. So we're talking about your materials, your engineering bill of materials, your production BOMs, drawings, control documents, configurations, varying configurations, etc. So we're really talking about putting a process around managing the update of that key product data that's being stored in SAP and being able to have a traceability and tracking of all the changes that have happened to that product. Okay, so every company that's developing products and needs this type of functionality. Okay, often what we're seeing with the engineering change management process is then also looking to workflow enable that. So there's a lot of companies out there today still using paper processes or various systems. And you want to be able to workflow enable that to be able to push the information to the right people at the right time. So if you have a engineering change process with multiple approvals, the SAP system will support workflow enabling that. And we'll talk a little bit about this, what we call the process route, in a few minutes. We can also do things like capture digital signatures when we're doing our workflow process, and this supports things like the Part 11 requirements that when doing, if you have to be under the FDA regulations. We talk about change management. We also talk about full traceability. So you want to know where's the change at, what changes are open. So if I'm a user looking at a specific material or bill of material, I'd like to see what changes are happening to that bill of material. Where's the change at in the approval process? The SAP system supports all these questions.